I love the wooden box, but I don't like it for spring. I feel like apples are a fall thing, and that's just me.
So here we are again, me with a voiceover, because I totally forgot to turn on my microphone, and that's not the first time I forgot about doing that, so I apologize. However, I want you to know what I regret is, or what I could possibly regret, is sanding off that stencil off that box. But watch this video how I transform a black candlestick into a more of a spring color for a vignette, and I transformed the box, and then I took a tray that I had that I didn't even want to take into the shop, and I worked with it a little bit, trial and error, and this is how it came out, and I'll show you a little bit of what I was doing.
This, by the way, I didn't mention Heirloom Traditions all-in-one paint. They're not a sponsor or anything, but man, it only did one coat so far. And then I did a little bit of Vaseline to try to create a little bit of a distressed. And you can also obviously use your 80 grit sanding, you know, just to kind of rub some of that off like this after it's dried. And also, I mean, it does help. It does sort of help to have that, your Vaseline. And so that just gives it a little bit of distress. I don't know that I wanted that much, but hey, it is what it is. You could do that one of two ways. You can put the Vaseline on like I did, and then it just rubs right off. Like you saw on this base, it rubbed off. Now, or you can just sand it off a little bit. And obviously I want to sand some off up here as well, just to give it that, you know, kind of worn look. I especially like it on the details. That's my favorite. I love it to be worn at the details, or I like a gilded, you know, the gilded edge. And then, so I think I need to leave it alone. It's whatever you would pick up. It's like what would interest me. And I like a good weathered, because I like vintage stuff. So I like stuff with a little bit of age and character on it. I don't like just a pristine, and the, you know, I want to see the character and the age on it. Look at that. I like it. I'm done, you guys. However, I wasn't really happy, as I said, with the stenciling, and at the same time, I don't know what color I would want this box to be. I wish I could bring it down to that beautiful wood, but I just don't have the equipment to do it. But we do still have the beautiful wood in there, so I'm thinking, set that aside. Here goes nothing. So here goes. I'm gonna sand this off, and then I think I'm gonna paint this. Ooh, I wish I had some white this color, because I think that white would look good with the brown. This is just like an 80 grit sanding block, if not less. And then I got to decide what color I'm going to do it. Sorry, whoever wanted the apple box. We'll get another box for fall. But this is for my spring vignette. What happened and how this all came about in such an emergency, just grabbing boxes and painting, because I do like this apple. I hate to take that off there. Somebody worked hard on it, but I want this box for what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a little spring vignette. I told myself I have to be careful not to get on that, and then there I did it. You know what will help that is blue painter's tape, but I've never been one to be real persnickety and neat about painting or detailed, which gives it, I guess, its own little character and personality in itself. to know it's been painted over, A lot of our stuff gets painted over, and that's reality in life. So that makes this lived in, doesn't it? I was mostly in love with the inside. That's what I'm doing here is I'm hoping to replace that table full of stuff. And that's the good thing about setting a theme. If you set things up that are all in a theme and someone comes in and they see that, they catch your vision and they're like, oh, that looks good together. I'll just get all of it. You show them how to purpose the things, and then they understand. And I am trying to go with the grain, but this grain goes this way and the other grain went the other way, just in case, because this thing is kind of put together, but that's what I love about it. I'm sorry, there is just nothing more lovely to me than a crate. I don't know why. I like boxes. I have a lot of trinket boxes. I like um, trays. I like crates, trinket boxes, trays, jewelry boxes. I just love that stuff. And I like to incorporate it in to my whatever I think it's called a vignette, when I make a vignette. And I love doing vignettes, and I may do some and sell them here on my Facebook page. So be sure to follow me on Facebook. My name is Sherry, SHERIIPARRETT, and I'm on Facebook. And it's getting, because this fans out, I'm not trying to paint on that wood on the edge. I wanted to keep it clean. I could have put some blue paint tape on there, but these are pretty simple paint jobs here. I am not like a painter. I've said that before, and I'm not trying to claim it because I do feel like I get better at it, but that's not so I have to scramble for stuff. If I'm going to paint stuff, I need a paintbrush. I need, towels. And before it's over, I'm just tossing stuff everywhere and using everything to try to do a paint job. And I know that's not professional. I get it. But that's how I do it. And I try to be careful. I try to be, like think what I want it to look like I did when I totally planned my vignette with the birds, and then I broke them. They fell because I had them up on the candlestick, and I moved the candlestick and down they went. They shattered. Okay, let's talk about that. Sometimes expectations are not met, and you have to go back to the drawing board and you have to start over. And that's with anything, whether it's a career, a project, um, anything. Oh my goodness. And sometimes you just have to start fresh. I mean, you don't throw the baby out. I'm using all my candlesticks still. I mean, I didn't throw everything out that was here. I'm reworking it different and making it more Eastery, where it was going to be spring with the blue and the green. And, the blues and the greens and the whites and the birds and the bird nests. Well, now I'm kind of going more to the Christian Easter aspect and the eggs. I mean, that's all I have. I just don't have a whole lot of spring stuff sourced. My husband promised me he would run down and get my spring box, and we'll see what we come up with. But just from what I've sourced is what I want to work with. Well, actually, I want to work with more, and if he doesn't bring it up, by the time I get done with this, I know myself, I'll be already on my way with this, and I could go down and get it myself too. There's always that option. Whoops, see, gotta be careful. This is good. This is good stuff. This chalk paint that I use. I mean, it's good coverage. It's got good coverage. So I was able to paint right over it. And I can tell that it's a good quality of paint, Dixie Belle. And it wasn't the kind you mix. And I like this green because I see it a lot in in real antiques. I see a lot of green. I don't know if that's just the color that they had or what. So there we go.
So here I'm gathering some of my Easter bunnies and Easter type things that can go. I haven't put the vignette together yet. I may do that in the next video. Just trying to come up with some things to use for that vignette. And one of the things obviously that I'm going to use is the brown box, and I'll use this tray that I am altering a little bit as well. So I put this tray along with some other things, and I tried to match the colors on the tray with the candlesticks that I had painted in the pastel colors. Obviously, these will not all be put together in one lump sum like I'm going to show here in a moment, but I am gathering as much as I can of anything that is spring or Easter, and then I'll be doing some vignettes in my next video. Thank you for watching today. Please follow, like, and subscribe. And be sure to look us up on Facebook, Vintage Jubilee Group, and I do sales in there where I will sell things before I take them to the booth. Thank you.